Thanks so much, Suzanne.
Well, we all know how important it is for young people to have positive role models in their lives, and unfortunately not everyone is lucky enough to have someone like that in their home. For over 15 years, Panthers on the Prowl has been offering a mentoring program called Building Young Men. It's a project of the footy community, and we're joined now by Panthers on the Prowl General Manager Brad Waugh. Welcome.
Yeah!
Thanks, Brad. This is such a great program, and it comes at a really important time. Of course, it's Men's Health Week. What are some of the concerns that you're seeing in the community with young men and teenage boys?
Yeah, look, I don't think it's any secret, Sarah, that there are young men out there that are looking for mentorship. They're looking for guidance of some sort. There's a lot of confusion, particularly in those volatile years, 14 to 17, and particularly in Western cultures. So in our cultures, there's no checkered flag to tell a boy when he's become a man. So he can put his cap on and say, "I've made it, I'm a man now." So unlike Indigenous tribes out there who still do that, who still practice that and initiate their youth into manhood, we have a lot of young men in Western culture who are self-initiating, if you like. And that might be first time they get drunk, first time they have sex, getting their driver's licence, first job. All of these things to try and prove that, hey, I'm a man. But unfortunately, going from boy psychology to man psychology is it's a little bit different than just doing things, if you know what I mean.
And Brad, I gather from that your mentoring work involves encouraging young boys to show their emotions, why do you think that's so, well, express in some way their emotions? Why do you think that's so important?
That's a part of it, and it is an important part of the program that we run, because if a boy can show his emotions, he tends to have greater emotional intelligence. He's able to connect with other people in a much better way, and it aids his growth and maturity. And it allows him to be comfortable sharing things with a person or persons that they trust.
It's extraordinary. The absolute sort of world guru in this area, Steve Biddle, who we had on the show the other day, says that basically when a boy, even if the boy's had a perfect family life, the best father in the world, at about this age you're talking about, 14, they will start pushing away from their parents, which is normal, and then they will look around for other male role models, other male mentors. And the difference between which fork in the road they take is whether that mentor is the leader of a bikie gang or the local footy coach or whatever it may be. How do you guys sort of get in there and get the sweet spot and provide these sorts of mentors?
Probably the best way to explain it is, and I might add that Building Young Men is just one of a suite of programs we run out there for children of all ages. But with Building Young Men, it's probably best to describe very briefly what we do. So we will have 10 year 10 boys who will self-nominate. So I will go out and explain what the program is and what we can offer and what the benefits may be to them. And they will then self-select and say, yes, I want to do this program. So it runs for 22 weeks. They will come to us at the stadium at Penrith. We'll share some pizza. We'll chew the fat for a while. We'll have a game of touch footy. We'll do something else competitive that appeals to a 15, 16-year-old boy. And then we will form what we call the circle. And it's a sacred circle. And whatever is spoken about in that circle stays there. And for those 10, it's group mentoring. So I have 10 men, be they businessmen, players, ex-players from the community, so men of good character, Joe.
Yep. You just much like myself.
You'd probably get a start with us, I'd say. But so I have men of very good character in the community who volunteer their time every week to be a part of this and to help and nurture these boys and get them through this period. And one of the most powerful things that happens there in that circle is my men, my mentors, so we sit boy, man, boy, man, boy, man. They make themselves absolutely vulnerable and transparent to these boys. And all we do, we don't give them advice because they've had a gutful of that. They don't want another adult telling them what to do. We share our stories. We tell them what we were doing and what we were thinking at age 15, 16. And my mentors make themselves totally vulnerable and just tell it warts and all. And there is so much power in that for a boy to be listening to this and to listen to a 60-year-old CEO of a company talk about what was going through his head at 15. And the boy's on the edge of his seat. He's thinking, man, you know, this guy was a bigger dickhead than me.
And the fact that some of your mentors, some of those men there are Panthers NRL players, you know, would even be hearing from the heroes could just even have a greater impact in some cases.
Look, there's no doubting, and I'll milk it for all it's worth. There's a certain mystique around an NRL player for a 15, 16-year-old boy. And their words carry a lot of weight. And I think of an incident just last year where one of our young men in the circle was really unloading and talking about what a tragic lifestyle he's had. And then one of our NRL players, I won't mention names, but he put his hand up halfway through it and he said, that virtually mirrors my upbringing. And for that boy to hear that and to think, wow, this guy's playing NRL and he had a childhood like mine, it makes them very relatable. And for the NRL players, it gives them a little bit more balance, if you know what I mean.
Bloody oath.
Lets them look back a bit, you know.
It's such a good program. Panthers on the Prowl. We'll put all the details on our Facebook page. Brad, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, keep that.